Hi Aries, this is your September 2019 reading. Aries, the month of September as well as October are very critical months for you from career perspective. In September, we have a new start coming in your house of work routines and health routines at the start of September. Then in October, we have a full moon in your sign happening around 13th of October. Along with these two, we have Saturn and Pluto going direct in your house of career as well. These are restructuring. These are restructuring of the very fabric of your being in terms of who you are in your career that are coming about as a result of the work done over the course of last couple of months. So you might have been doing a lot of restructuring. A lot of effort has gone into redefining who you are as a person in your career, who you are as a leader over the course of last couple of months when you have been on an evolutionary journey when it comes to your career, when it comes to your public reputation, when it comes to your leadership style. And now all of that is coming to a stage when we are giving birth to all that we have worked on. This is the time of decision. This is the time of results. This is the time of things coming out in the open. Right at the start of the month, we have a new moon in your house of work routines. This shows you a fresh new start in terms of what kind of work you want to do, what kind of duties, what kind of projects you want to be focused on. It infuses fresh energy in you to start a new way of functioning when it comes to work. More importantly, it gives you an objective perspective about your career. It gives you almost a surgical perspective about which is the direction you want to go in. We have Uranus making a positive aspect with this new moon. So over the course of first 2 weeks of the month, you are looking to shift the way you are, the kind of projects that you work on. There is a conducive energy active in the first 2 weeks of the month. The conducive energy is about looking at your career, your job, your material resources in a very objective fashion to do the right things, to do the things that are required to take care of business in a practical way, in almost a surgical way. And that is the road to success in Virgo season. We have to look at things in an objective fashion and look at both sides of the argument here, because you will be presented with a few choices in this season before you sort of make your final decision around your full moon on 13th of October. This is a season of change. This is a season when leaves change their color. This is the season in which we make decisions which will have a significant impact on your career, on your life, on your health over the course of next 30 years. Because Saturn comes in your house of career once in 30 years, and that is going direct on 18th of September. And before it does so, there will be things that will be presented to you to open your mind up to new opportunities, to open your mind up to a different perspective than what you have seen before. Uranus is sitting in your house of resources, material resources. It is asking you to look at earnings, look at assets, look at how you create value from your skills in a different fashion than you have before. It is asking you to look at untraditional ways of making money, or at the very least, become independent in your sources of income. When Uranus is in our house of resources, which it will be for you for the next 7 years, you're looking at earning money from resources that you have not earned from before. We come out of traditional ways of making money and look at untraditional ways in which we can source income. At a psychological level, Uranus detaches us from old skill sets, old ways of making money, old attachment to assets that seemed very close, very important to us in the past. It creates a sense of freedom where money sort of becomes a way to get more freedom, where money loses to some extent a relevance in itself, but becomes a way for you to seek freedom in your life, to seek excitement in your life. That's why when Uranus is in this house, the suggestion is always to proactively change your source of income or find skills that can make you money in a different fashion. Skills that can make you independent financially. And you develop certain skill sets that are very unique in nature that you did not have before. It sort of brings out a genius in us, a skill set in us, which is sort of hidden before. But now, because of freedom of our own mind, because Uranus in our sign for the last 8 years has changed us as a person, has created a freedom within our psyche to look at our own skill set in a different way, to look at our own worth in a different fashion. So now, with that reformed or changed view of ourselves, our external reality has to change with it. Our external reality of how we earn money, what kind of career we are in, what kind of job we are in. This is a natural progression of creation, whereby we are evolving from our old way of being and stepping into a new reality. And September is sort of an intermediary place in that where we make the decision to do so. Because when Saturn stands still from 6th of September to 18th of September, we have a recognition coming our way of how life is going to be in future. When Sun and Saturn make a positive aspect with each other on 6th of September, either through a conversation with an authority figure or through your own understanding of what you truly want to do in project, there is an objective knowing that is created. There is an objective knowing that will be created all the way till 13th of September this month for you to know what you truly want to do going forward. Because in the season, in a mutable season, we see both sides of the argument and make a decision which is very objective, which is useful, which does not waste your talents, which does not waste your time and creates efficiency in your life. From 5th to around 7th of September, we have Mercury, our mind, making that T-square. So it could be through conversations with somebody. It could be conversations with authority figure. It could be through a news coming our way around 6th of September, which tells you what you should do. You break out of an old ideology here and move into a different way of being. This is especially true if you have planets between 14 to 17 degree of Aries. 14 to 17 degree of Aries and a few degrees plus or minus it, like maybe around, I would say 12 to 19 degree of Aries. So that's around first 10 days of April born. In fact, even a few degrees down, because Pluto is operating at 21 degree, 21 degree. So I would say the first 14 days of April born would feel this shift very strongly. This is beyond normal. This is something that you have not experienced before. Because Saturn and Pluto and South Node have never been together in your house of career, and they are there to evolve your reality when it comes to your authority, when it comes to your career, when it comes to your life path. So, this new moon at the start of the month, which will prompt you into action in the first 14 days of the month, very, very effectively wants you to set order, wake up to the current moment in an objective fashion, and make a decision when it comes to your career. And this T square, this mutable T square, which is forming between 5th to 7th of September, and then again between 8th to 11th of September, will help you decide, will help you give more information, will help you give more insights to the things that you did not see before, to the things that were invisible to us in the hype of it all, in the excitement of it all. Because we are here to grow, but we are here to create material value as well. So you're trying to find a balance between the two. You're trying to find a balance between the ideal and the practical. And in the season of Virgo, it helps you make certain practical decisions. In the first 2 weeks of the month, in my view, that is what we will be doing. And in addition, Saturn will become very, very strong in the first half of the month, all the way till 18th of September, when it is going direct in your house of career. Saturn wants you to create a lifetime approach to your career. It wants to strengthen your career path. It wants you to create a career path that is long lasting. So the foundations when Saturn creates, when it comes to your career house, are very, very strong in nature as compared to what you would otherwise create. So what's being created or being recreated in your career is going to last you for a lifelong. It's going to last you for your lifetime. It's teaching you to be strategic in your approach as a leader. It is building your purpose, your goal, your ambition. But it was retrograde for the last 4.5 months. So the last 4.5 months might have been spent in figuring out what is the boundaries, what are the rules and regulations. You have been trying to sort of create the structure of this new reality over the course of last 4 months, because it was restructuring you. Before it starts restructuring your external reality and starts bringing about the changes in your external structure, it wanted to restructure you internally to remove any resistance to the new reality that's being released to you. There is a new way of being when it comes to your career, a new path that you know since the start of this year that you're meant to walk on. But there's resistance to that path sometimes, and when Saturn goes retrograde, which it had gone since 29th of April till now, it helps us let go of that control. It lets us surrender a little bit of control to detach from an old way of being when it comes to your career, because it wants to bring out a different personality. It wants to bring out a different form of leadership. It wants to bring out a new way of doing things when it comes to your career. And that external reality is now brought to you with Saturn going direct on 18th of September. It could be in form of an organizational restructuring. It could be in form of a restructuring of your role. It could be in form of restructuring of your entire career, because you decide to take a different path, because Pluto is standing still from 13th of September as well, ready to go direct from 3rd of October. And Pluto is here to deconstruct what is not serving you. It is here to give you more authority, more power on your own life. It wants you to detox the patterns of leadership, detox the patterns of taking, if I may say, gunk to some extent in your career. It wants you to remove the things, release the things in the way you manage your career or the actual job responsibilities, projects that take your power away. And it is sort of letting you release what is not yours anymore. It rips the band-aid off a little bit. It accelerates along with Pluto, along with Saturn and South Node. It accelerates to some extent the shifts in our career, which normally will take years and years to happen. It's waking us up to believe in ourselves and draining the things that don't serve us. So when Pluto starts going direct, this internal restructuring is over and the external restructuring of reality begins. So the new rules, the new boundaries, the new physical structure that Saturn is going to launch from 13th of September onwards, Pluto gives you the conviction in that to make sure that you get your right share in that. You are not going to be the same after these two planets are direct. Be ready for a complete change in your external life when that happens. Because this is once in a lifetime kind of a thing when Saturn and Pluto are about to come direct, and they will join together on 12th of January 2020, giving you a new life structure to live which will last for your lifetime. It is not about ambition, it's about reality, it's about being true to yourself. It's about being powerful, not in the way that appeals to everybody else, but to you. It's not about other people. It's about what fills your cup. It's about releasing what is some what could have been a career, what could have been a way of doing things that you might have been doing in order to make an authority figure happy, in order to look like what looks good to the world. But it was not filling you up emotionally, mentally, intellectually. It's about creating something of value more than what it means to others. It's about taking on a role that helps society as a whole, that helps you create your legacy. So, the question to ask in the first 2 weeks of the month, when you have these choices, is, are you creating your legacy? Are you creating that is something that is bigger than you? Because you have come here for a very special purpose. When we have Saturn, Pluto, South Node coming together in the house of career, that sign has the responsibility to act as a leader like nobody else has ever done so. So your sign has the strength as well as the responsibility to make sure what you're delivering to the world in form of your career path goes beyond norm, goes beyond goes beyond being ordinary. This is an extraordinary path. This is an extraordinary path that you have both the privilege as well as the responsibility to walk on, and it's not an easy one. Saturn is never an easy course, but Saturn provides you something that has the foundation to last longer and beyond you. Saturn is where we create our legacy, and you are creating a legacy in form of being the head of a business, being an independent earner, being the head of a business, being in the lead, being who you came here to be. There is an awareness of self-identity that is creating here, which shows you that you need to be more than who you were before this year. There's a sense of self-realization, awakening of sorts that Jupiter has created in you this year, because it is sitting in your house of purpose. It is expanding your purpose way beyond what it has ever been before. It is sitting with Neptune, making a square, meeting for the last time on 21st of September this month, again waking you up, again dissolving your fears, again showing you a dream, a vision, a way of being, where there is adventure, where there is travel, where there is education, where there is expansion of your higher mind, and a release of the lower mind, and a release of commercial day-to-day work to some extent. There's publication, there's adventure, there's travel, there's spirituality possibly, there's creativity possibly embedded in that path. There is benefit and healing to many that is involved over there. Because Neptune is sitting in your house of unconscious, and it is dissolving your fear to see your own skill set. It is dissolving and asking you to think beyond the norm. It is asking you to look beyond the mundane and look at your skill set with those eyes. Look at your ancestral gifts. Look at the gifts that are inherently being gifted to you by higher powers, by your family, by your ancestors, which you were not valuing before. And those are elevated and embedded in your life purpose now with this square. Neptune and Jupiter is larger than life. But sometimes we have to look at our talents in a larger than life scale for us to appreciate them. So a few realities absolutely will come out this month, because it's possible that we were overestimating how valuable those talents are, how much practical application is possible of those talents that you discovered. The question again is, you have to decide very objectively this month, looking at both sides of the coin, does this make sense to you still after knowing what you know now? So a few secrets will come out around 10th of September in my view, when Sun meets in opposition to Neptune, and you sort of see what you did not see before with a practical eye. Because Neptune in the 12th is very inspirational, but it tends to hide the things below the surface so you can see a higher vision. So the mundane is sometimes hidden, the details are hidden, the implementational details are hidden. Now with this opposition, we are shown something that we did not see before. But at the same time, you will never have all the details. So look at both sides of the coin. That's the strength of the season. Look at the mundane, look at the higher vision, and then take a decision for yourself. What is good for you? And this T-square, of course, has a solution to it. Every problem has a solution, and this has a solution and answer too. The solution is in Jupiter. The T-square has an apex of Jupiter in your 9th house. The outlet of this, the winner of this, or the thing that takes you out of this is your higher knowledge. You know better what your life purpose is. That is what we have done whole of this year, is to in our soul recognize what our life purpose is. And I spoke about this in detail in the Jupiter transit the 9th house video, which I did last month, to sort of give you an information, a practical information on that ahead of time. Jupiter in the 9th house makes you an adventurer, makes you a world citizen, makes you integrate yourself with a world bigger than the current one. You cannot go back to being small once you have been bigger when it comes to your knowledge, when it comes to your influence, when it comes to your ability to see things that you did not see before. Once you have expanded your minds, once you have decided to expand your influence, once you have found a higher meaning, you cannot go less. So, despite the reality, despite the mundane, take in the details that are coming through, integrate that into your current reality, integrate the things that are being highlighted that you're objectively seeing as the gaps in your reality, in your plan. But the outlet is Jupiter in the 9th house. You are an adventurer. You are here to create new purpose, a higher purpose. So going back to mundane, going back to small thinking, going back to a commercial way, and I'm no way saying that what you will look at your life purpose will not have money attached to it. That's not what I'm saying. But it is not going to be traditional. This is not going to be traditional. The acceptance that our life forward is not going to be traditional is the outcome, in my view, of these T-squares that are happening in September. This is a mutable season. We are modifying our perspective. We are modifying who we know we are now. We are modifying our path according to that. So when the Libra season begins on 22nd of September, we are going in with a solid mind, so we can make the changes that need to be made. In the Libra season, which is our opposite sign, our cardinal axis is activated. So we make the changes in the Libra season. We make the decisions in Virgo season. So before 22nd, you make the decisions. The implementation of that comes after 22nd of September, especially when we have a new moon at the end of the month, around 28th of September, in your house of partnerships, which brings the focus to your contracts, which brings the focus to your relationships. So it gives you a new start there. And then comes the full moon, which is coming around 13th of October in your sign, at the very degree where Pluto is standing still, restructuring who you are as a person. So that is around 20 degree of Aries. So in October, if you have planets around 20 degree of Aries, around 2 or 3 degrees before or after, or if you're born around 10th or 11th of April, again 2 or 3 days before or after, you know that you, your path, your career, your physical body will be in focus, and something comes to conclusion which sort of you had initiated yourself at the start of the year or in your season in April. This is a very, very critical moment for you. I cannot emphasize that enough. That when Saturn and Pluto are sitting in our house of career and turning direct, there is a complete cleanse that happens. There's a complete cleanse that happens of both emotional patterns. There's a growing up, a maturing of our path that happens over here, and there is a deconstruction of whatever is not real. There's a fear that is released when Saturn and South Node meet each other closely on 28th of September, and they will be together throughout this month. There is a removal of fear, of restrictions, of reservation, of any kind of, if I may say, fake facade that we might be wearing, and our soul is given its voice. This is a new rule book, a new boundaries, a new physical structure that is being created, and you will experience that in form of either a new contract coming through towards 28th of September, which is very much true if you have planets around 5 degree of Aries, which is around 25th of March born if you're a Aries sun. It could be in form of a complete restructuring of an organization that you're part of, which is especially true if you have planets between 14 degree to 21 degree of Aries, which is around 3rd of April to around 11th or 12th of April born. Again, the first 14th or 15th of April born are, in my view, will experience a complete restructuring of their leadership style. There is a release here. It could be a career that you're releasing. It is a way of being that is releasing. It is even possible that an authority figure leaves. It is very much possible that the leadership, a major leadership restructuring happens. But you have to remember, the road to success for you over here is to cater to yourself, not on how it looks to the world, not how it looks. What leadership is defined by the world is not going to be how you define leadership, because you are redefining what leadership looks like, what a business head looks like, what a head of a unit looks like, what a business head looks like. Because Saturn, South Node, Pluto together, they are teaching you one key lesson, which is self-reliance beyond what the authority figures or beyond what the structure of a company tells you. You have to do something unconventional here. You have to do something that is beyond what you have done before. And with North Node in your house of home and family and your inner peace, you are using your softer skills here to be successful. The road to success, when we have North Node in Cancer and South Node in Capricorn, is to form a family. When it comes to your career, when it comes to your way of doing work, is to cater to your emotional well-being, is to cater to your family versus how it looks to the society. So keeping that in view, because South Node will be very active here. There is a shell that is being broken here, and this will continue all the way till the eclipse of 26th of December, when we have an eclipse in your house of career, a solar eclipse, a Christmas eclipse, a brand new start. A brand new start of a new life that begins for you, and the full realization of that will come in January when we have Saturn and Pluto meeting each other in your house of career. This is the new world order that comes through. It is a very, very rare and important conjunction, which is happening on 12th of January or 13th of January 2020. So be on lookout for the decisions coming your way this month. Let me give you a few specific dates. I have given them already, but let me give you a quick rundown of key dates. So first 10 days of the month, 1st to 9th or 10th of September, you will be working on bringing order. This is you waking up to the current moment and looking at what kind of projects you need to work on. It is possible that a new project has come your way. A new project could be specifically coming towards a person who has planets around 6 or 7 degree of Aries, which is around 26th or 27th of March born. It could be a new work environment. It could be a new project that you need to work on. But essentially, the first 10 days are when you're given a lot of power to make a change, to make a difference, to sort of work very actively on bringing about change when it comes to your work. So projects that look tough to get off the ground, health habits, this is your house of health as well, health habits that look very difficult to sort of kick off from 5th or 6th of September, when quarter moon happens, you start seeing, okay, what are the new health habits I need to do? What are the changes in work I need to implement? What are the shifts in my career that I need to make? 6th of September is the point when Saturn stands still and the restructuring of your career begins. So on 6th or 5th of September, if you're having a conversation with somebody, if you have a decision due from somebody, you might have a business negotiation due with somebody, watch out for what's coming out of it. It could be very, very significant. This is especially true if you have planets around 14 degree of Aries, which is around 3rd of April born. Then comes the T-square, which happens around 7th of March. 7th of September, 7th of September or 8th of September, which is, I think, over the weekend, is when in your mind you're deciding what to do about things. There is some first piece of revelation that has come to you, first piece of information that has come to you, and you're deciding what to do with it. This will be especially true if you have planets around 14 to 17 degree of Aries, which is 3rd to 6th of April born. 6th or 7th of April, 6th or 7th of September, very good for date nights, very good for doing some creative work as well. Maybe if you're doing something for creation, for creativity for your job, around 6th of September is very, very good time to be very focused and deliver something very significant when it comes to creative work, even from a financial perspective. If you're investing, 6th of September, even 8th of September, these are good dates to figure out an investment or a deeper look into what you want to do. This is especially true if you have planets around 21 degree of Aries, which is around 11th or 12th of April born. Then comes from from 8th to 11th of September. This is you having a discussion with authority figure. This is you having a decision with an authority figure, in my view. And 10th of September will give you more information on that. My suggestion to shift anything when it comes to your career is to do that after 18th of September, because then the structural changes become more clear to you. Don't take a rash decision before 18th of September. Things will become clearer to you by 18th of September. More information that you did not see coming will come to you. Very good day to negotiate, to make an impression on a client, make an impression on somebody who you want to truly sell something. 8th and 9th of September. 8th and 9th of September, when Mercury is meeting Pluto, very, very good time to make an impact on somebody. Even 19th of September is a very good day to do that. 13th of September is also a good day to do that, because Pluto kicks in after 8th or 9th of September and makes a contact with Mercury first on 8th of September, then Sun on 13th of September, then Mars on 19th of September. So these are very, very good day to convince people about your new perspective when it comes to work, to convince an authority figure. There could be a very, very positive news as well that might be coming with respect to a project. This is especially true if you have planets around 15th degree of Aries, which is around 4th of April born. You could experience that on 8th of September. You can experience that on 6th of September as well through that conversation that you're having with an authority person. But I think the true depth of it, because there's more information coming your way, will come after 13th of September. You will start seeing more information clearly after 13th or 14th of September, we have a full moon happening. Then there are things that you did not see before which will come out in the open. There will be things that are unconventional in nature that you want to do. Your projects that you're working on, they could be unconventional. They could be out of step. They could be a bit ahead of time that you've been working on, and information on that, results on that might come in the second half of the month. And then on 22nd of September and 26th of September, I want you to be a little bit careful. On 22nd and 26th of September, there could be an actual conflict, if I may say, with an authority figure. This is the first half of the month is much easier, but second half after 22nd, as I said, things now are being set in stone. Things are being decided. These are cardinal times. Your season, it is sort of your 6-month milestone. It's either there or here. So very, very groundbreaking changes will happen after 22nd of September, and that will happen through not an easy conversation, in my view, on 22nd or 26th of September. This is especially true again if you have planets around 14 degree or 21 degree of Aries, which is around 3rd of April or 10th or 11th of April born. So be on lookout on 22nd and 26th of April, 22nd or 26th of September. You'll have to make some tough decisions. It could be a contract. It could be a commitment which you're sort of deciding on. And then comes the new start in your partnership, in a contract, in a client, in a relationship on 28th of September. Your partnership, your contracts, your commitment to others will come into focus after 22nd of September as well. And that comes with this new moon, which is happening around 5 degree of Libra. So if you have planets around 5 degree of Aries, which is around 25th of March born, it could be a new contract. It could be a new client. It could be a new start when it comes to your committed partnerships. And then 13th of October is when we have a full moon in Aries at around 20 degree of Aries, which if you have planets around 10th or 11th of April, will bring you into focus. There's a completion of a chapter, a significant chapter of your life which is coming about now. We are finishing what we started 6 months back. Results of what we started 6 months back. Results of the things that we have worked on over the course of this year happen in September and October. So good luck for that, Aries. I'm sorry about my voice in this video. I'll see you in the next video now. Thank you.